Now, this YouTube account was just supposed to be for my business plan, for this. But, since I'm on the subject and I'm thinking about this now, is that we're going to look right now, we're going to look at the political process, the way the government works in the United States. Right? So what's the first thing that we know? We know that the population decides what happens and what leaders get elected. So if I take and I show you a map of the United States, and your people, your group that represent your interests, your race, your people, your ideas, your beliefs, and you take a map of the United States and you look at them and they're spread all across the nation, like in little pockets, right? And you're 1% of the population in DC, and you're 1% of the population in Seattle, and you're 1% of the population in Kentucky, and you're 1% of the population in California, and you're 1% of the population in Chicago, and you're 1% of the population in Detroit. Now your group, you could be 10 million people. You could be 10 million people. But when you're spread all across the entire nation, you have no representation in the government, because you're a minority. You'll always be a minority when it comes to voting. See? So the strategic concept is to take and look at the process that we use in the United States of America to elect our leaders and to create our laws and to operate the government, right? So the real strategy for getting your ideas and your representatives and your people into a position of power and authority is to become the majority population in a district. So migration is the way to have your voice heard. Your group, and we can use the internet, right? We can use the internet. You're already grouping together in your groups of your different interests and various ideas and concepts, and we all communicate together. So you gather together, and then you can all freaking move to the same location and become the majority vote in a district, in a county, or in a state, or in a city. You all can migrate, become the majority vote, and then your concepts and your ideas become a force that it has representation in the government. See, right now what we do is we just go, well, I live here, and yeah, I vote, but I don't believe in the vote because nothing's going on. And so the real activism of this age, and this is because there's such a large population. So the real activism is to frickin' map the districts and take one over as your group of people. See what I mean? And simply just by moving there and becoming all the same, and voting. So that was my idea on that. I mean, for modern political strategy, from the citizen standpoint, not from the politician standpoint who has to figure out how to convince everybody to vote for him. From the citizen standpoint, who wants to figure out how to get the guy that he wants in.